Things up at this hour. A number of reported tornadoes. Millions in the potential path of these storms, multiple states on alert into the evening. Some already urged to seek shelter tonight. Ginger Z has the timing and the track. Also breaking at this hour, the verdict tonight in a national case just in. A former police officer accused of shooting and killing a woman. She was the one who had called 911 for help. The horrific scene coming in from Venezuela tonight. The images, tanks running over protesters as the opposition leader calls this the, quote, final phase to overthrow Nicolas Maduro. Tonight, the first images of the synagogue shooting suspect stone-faced in court. And now we learn the suspect called 911 to report the shooting and his own location. The high-stakes meeting at the White House today. President Trump, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Did they strike a deal? How much will it cost? And is this realistic? The highway shooting, the young woman shot in the neck and killed while driving. Was it a random shot from the woods? What authorities have now revealed tonight. The officer accused of murdering her neighbor. She claimed she thought she was in her own apartment and that he was an intruder. But she was on the wrong floor in the wrong apartment. And tonight you will now hear her 911 call afterward. And a very close call for that Jeopardy champ, what nearly ended his run. And what now tonight?
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. It's great to have you with us here on a very busy Tuesday night. We are following several breaking headlines, several tornadoes touching down, and the warnings more on the way. But first, the other story unfolding as we come on the air tonight. Reports of multiple people shot at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. The images coming in right now, police on the scene. That school on lockdown. Students were apparently alerted in a tweet to run, hide, and fight if necessary. All of this unfolding a short time ago. Let's get right to ABC's Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. Pierre, what have you learned?
David, a scary situation playing out tonight at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Our affiliate WSOC is reporting that 3 people have been shot and that the shooter is in custody. The university has put out an alert saying the campus lockdown continues, remain in a safe location, monitor email and the university's homepage. Obviously, the situation is still fluid. They will continue to search the campus to make sure there are no other assailants. David, we will continue to monitor the situation and update when we can.
All right, straight into the night, Pierre Thomas, our thanks to you on this front. In the meantime, we're also following that urgent tornado threat. Warnings up in several states at this hour. Authorities are calling this a, quote, particularly dangerous situation. Stunning drone video already coming in of this tornado near Sulphur, Oklahoma today. One of several tornadoes touching down already. The same system downing power lines and damaging this church in Kansas. And the radar tonight showing the most active threat at this hour. But of course, the storm zone stretches all the way from Texas up through Illinois. 20 million Americans in the path. We do have the track for you tonight, and ABC's Clayton Sandell is in Oklahoma.
Tonight, residents are being warned to seek shelter as large, dangerous tornadoes tear across the plains.
That is going to be a violent tornado that is developing.
This twister touching down southeast of Oklahoma City. Trucks pulling over on the side of the road as it passes, carving a path through this field over land and water.
Anybody to the northeast of the Highway 7 and Highway 12 intersection needs to take cover right now.
Northeast of Tulsa, the National Weather Service warning of a particularly dangerous situation, calling it life-threatening.
It's a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado. It's 4 miles west of Tolala.
Reports of damage from this twister east of Fayetteville, Arkansas. In Bergman, students on lockdown as the storm moved through.
Big tornado coming down!
It's the second day of a 3-day outbreak of severe weather in the heartland. Southwest of Kansas City, a tornado just before dawn Monday, tearing apart this church and damaging a cemetery. A supercell dropping hail larger than golf balls west of Midland, Texas. Severe thunderstorms even bringing a downpour to the Vegas area.
Clayton Sandell with us live tonight from Tolala, Oklahoma, where I know there's still a watch up at this hour. And Clayton, authorities are telling everyone there to be prepared for what could be a dangerous night ahead.
That's right, David. It's still a very active situation here. There's a tornado watch in effect until 11 p.m., which is why authorities are telling people to have a plan. And if you have a storm shelter like this, don't stray too far. Now there are worries about flooding and more severe weather on the way tomorrow. David?
All right, those darkened skies behind you say it all. Clayton, thank you. Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z is tracking the tornado threat into the night and tomorrow. And hey, Ginger, what do you have?
David, we've already seen at least 15 reported tornadoes, and there are more on the map, the warnings at least right now. So parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, and of course, right into Missouri have to be on alert at this moment because a warning means it's imminent, it's happening. We've got enough of a low-level jet, meaning a lot of moisture headed from the south-southeast, and then cooler, drier air above. It creates wind shear, and you've got the potential for spin all the way from Texas up to even Illinois tonight. Now, this is all on a front that's not going to move much, so flash flooding is a possibility too, all the way through tomorrow, David.
Ginger Z tracking this straight through GMA. Thank you, Ginger. Now to the breaking news from Minneapolis. Another developing headline we're following. The verdict just in. A former police officer found guilty of third-degree murder and manslaughter in the shooting death of a woman who had actually called 911 for help. She called to report a possible sex assault behind her home. ABC's Lindsay Davis with the jury's verdict just in tonight.
Tonight, the officer who shot 40-year-old Justine Damond in a dark alley behind her Minneapolis home found guilty of third-degree murder and manslaughter, but not guilty of second-degree murder. 2 years ago, Officer Mohammed Noor responded with his partner to Damond's 911 call about a possible rape behind her home.
A female screaming behind the building.
Damond came out of her home into the alley behind it, and 4 minutes later, an officer was performing CPR on the 40-year-old yoga instructor.
Shots fired. Yeah, went down. 5:30. I'm starting CPR.
She had moved to the U.S. from Australia a few years earlier and talked about it in this video.
Had moved my whole life over, and that in itself had been quite a surprise.
At trial, prosecutors argued Noor violently gunned Damond down through the open driver's side window when she appeared on the side of the squad car. They claimed he abused his authority to use deadly force. But defense attorneys claimed Damond startled the officers by banging on the door as she approached. And when she raised her arm, Noor made a split-second decision to protect his partner. Damond died just 3 weeks before her wedding day.
Noor could face 4 years for the manslaughter charge and 12 years for the third-degree murder charge. He is sent to be sentenced in June, David.
Lindsay Davis with this verdict tonight. Lindsay, thank you. Next to the horrific images from Venezuela tonight after opposition leader Juan Guaido declared the, quote, final phase to oust President Maduro, that phase has begun. Opposition supporters clashing with forces loyal to the president, lobbing stones against heavily armed troops and heavy equipment. Tonight, the difficult images right here and the government's armored vehicles running over protesters there. We warn you, this is not easy to watch. And what we have just learned tonight from the Secretary of State Mike Pompeo about the situation. ABC's Tom Llamas, who reported extensively from Venezuela, back on this tonight.
Tonight, chaos in Venezuela. Violent clashes unfolding right in front of cameras. An armored military vehicle plowing into and then over civilian demonstrators. Members of the military defecting, taking up arms against the government. Those blue bands a sign they're with the opposition. Interim President Juan Guaido calling this the final phase to take down the Maduro regime. The two sides battling all day. Gunfire, tear gas, and firebombs exploding on the streets of Caracas. This man saying they're defending liberty down with tyranny, the battle cry of the opposition. It all began with this 3-minute video. Guaido calling on the rest of the armed forces to break ranks and join the opposition.
Es el momento. El momento es ahora.
Guaido saying now is the moment, then taking to the streets. Venezuelans by the thousands out there supporting him, cheering those soldiers who defected. Maduro outraged, calling it a coup and demanding his security forces squash any uprising. In Washington, the White House pressuring Maduro to step down.
I want to stress again, the president wants to see a peaceful transfer of power from Maduro to Guaido.
But hours into the protest, no sign Guaido has gained the military's loyalty. So will Maduro now go after Guaido? Recently, he seemed to indicate that he would.
I'd like to ask you very directly, do you think Juan Guaido is a criminal? Will you arrest him?
Maduro saying no one can be above the law.
We remember the interview well. Tom with us tonight. And just now, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo saying that Maduro had a plane fueled on the tarmac ready to go to Cuba?
That's what Secretary Pompeo says. He says the Russians then convinced Maduro to stay in Venezuela. Tonight, the president is threatening the Cubans, saying they should stay out of Venezuela to stop meddling. But, David, this is the bottom line. If the military still supports Nicolas Maduro, he will remain in power.
All right. Very volatile situation. Tom Llamas on this again tonight. Thank you, Tom. We have new reporting tonight after the first court appearance of the suspect in that deadly synagogue shooting today, pleading not guilty to all charges, including murder. But prosecutors now revealing the weapons the shooter carried and how much higher the toll might have been. And now we know that it was the suspect himself who called 911 to report the shooting and his location. Here's ABC's chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, tonight.
Everyone rise, please.
The 19-year-old standing in court, stone-faced, that jaw clenched as the prosecutor recounted his alleged synagogue shooting spree and the killing of Lori Kaye.
The defendant shot her twice as she turned to flee, killing her.
Tonight, prosecutors with new details, claiming Ernest came ready for carnage.
A rifle, 5 loaded magazines, and a tactical helmet were found inside of his car.
Facing the possibility of life in prison, Ernest coldly told the judge he understood the proceedings.
Yes.
Ernest pleading not guilty to all charges, including arson on a mosque last month, which authorities say he bragged about in an online post written before the attack.
In the manifesto, the defendant expressed his intent to send Jews to hell.
The post also said he'd martyr himself for the white race, but that's not what happened on Saturday. First, a congregant chased him out of the synagogue, and then
the defendant called 911 and reported shooting at the synagogue. He gave his location to the dispatcher and said that he was armed.
Today, appearing in that blue jumpsuit, a stark contrast to the teenage pianist. The judge denying his bail.
Today, David, for the first time, prosecutors said they have surveillance video of that attack, that as the synagogue's school opened for the first time under heavy police security. David.
All right, Matt Gutman with us again tonight. Thank you, Matt. Next, that high-stakes meeting today at the White House. The president, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, had a potential deal on infrastructure. So how much will it cost? Is it realistic? ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl asking Democrats, can they make this deal or should they be investigating? Can they do both?
Today, a most unusual message from the nation's most powerful Democrats.
We just had a very productive meeting with the President of the United States.
It was nearly 4 months ago that Democratic leaders last met with the president. Today, their sit-down ended with talk of a massive $2 trillion deal to rebuild America's infrastructure. Not long ago, President Trump suggested he wouldn't work with Democrats unless they dropped their investigations. That sure hasn't happened. What is a bigger priority for Democrats, investigating the president or trying to work with him?
In previous meetings, the president has said, if these investigations continue, I can't work with you. He didn't bring it up. And so we're going, I believe, we can do both at once.
But speaking in California shortly before the meeting ended, the president's own chief of staff poured cold water on the idea of an infrastructure deal with Democrats. Still, a source in today's meeting tells a different story, saying the president told the room, I would like to do something. It may not be typically Republican. Democrats say he promised to lay out ideas for how to pay for it all when they meet again in 3 weeks.
John Karl with us live tonight at the White House. John, we know the White House also calling that meeting, quote, excellent and productive late today. But in the meantime, you also have news tonight from the campaign trail. We know Joe Biden making his first trip to Iowa since getting into the race this week, appearing to get a bit of a bounce in a couple of different polls. Obviously, it's still very early out there. We have to see what these polls say in the coming days. But not only the president with his tweets, but other Democrats now taking note of Biden jumping in.
They sure are. Biden comes into this race looking like he is the front runner. That means he is also the #1 target. So we are seeing something we really haven't seen in the race so far. Democrats going after Democrats, with progressives Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders taking aim and going after Biden's record.
Here we go. John Karl live at the White House. John, thanks. Still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Tuesday. The highway shooting, the young woman shot in the neck while driving. Was it a random shot from the woods? But authorities have now revealed tonight. Also, the health alert for customers of a former spa, the procedure that may have exposed more than 130 people to HIV, and authorities are now warning customers of that spa. And the hostage scare unfolding today, police rushing men, women, and children to safety in an armored vehicle. These pictures just coming in late today. The shooting suspect possibly barricaded inside a building. A lot more news ahead on a very busy night. Stay tuned.
Guys,
What's the matter? The great outdoors is supposed to be fun.
I heard there were fleas out here.
And ticks. And mosquitoes. Listen up, scaredy cats. We all have K9 Advantix 2 to protect us. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes.
And mosquitoes?
All three. So let's just enjoy ourselves out here.
I wasn't really that scared. I'll get it.